The restaurant glowed with soft candlelight, every table dressed in white linen and quiet sophistication. Ryan Torres, dressed simply in jeans and gray shirt, felt slightly out of place. At 31, he owned a small auto repair shop on the outskirts of the city. Grease, engines, and honest labor were his world. But tonight, he was stepping into something entirely different. His sister had convinced him to go on a blind date, insisting the woman was kind, down to earth, and worth meeting. Table by the window, her text read, "She'll be in blue." Ryan scanned the room and spotted her instantly, a woman in a striking blue dress, blonde hair falling in soft waves past her shoulders. She sat alone by the window, elegant but approachable. Then he noticed the wheelchair. His steps slowed. His sister hadn't mentioned that. But she was the only woman in blue at the only window table. He hesitated for a second, then took a breath and approached. "Hi," he said, nervous but smiling. "I'm Ryan. Are you waiting for someone?" The woman looked up. Her smile was warm, her eyes bright and kind. "I am," she said. "Are you meeting someone too?" "My sister set me up on a blind date," Ryan admitted. "She told me to find the woman in blue by the window. I guess that's you." The woman blinked, then laughed softly. "I think there's been a mix-up. I'm not on a blind date. I'm waiting for my father. He's usually late." Ryan felt heat rush to his face. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." But she was laughing again, the sound light and genuine. "Don't apologize. This is the most interesting thing that's happened to me all week. I'm Anna, by the way. Anna Lawrence." "Ryan Torres," he said awkwardly, unsure whether to stay or leave. Anna smiled, her eyes glinting with mischief. "Well, Ryan, my father will be at least 20 minutes late. Why don't you sit? It'd be a shame to waste a good misunderstanding." Her confidence caught him off guard, but she looked so open and amused that he sat down almost without realizing it. "Won't your father mind?" he asked. "He'll probably be thrilled," Anna said dryly. "He's been trying to set me up with eligible bachelors for months. He'll assume you're one of his candidates." Ryan smiled. "Why is he so eager to set you up?" Anna gestured lightly toward her wheelchair. "He thinks I need someone to take care of me. I was in a car accident 3 years ago. Spinal injury. My father hasn't accepted that I can still live my life. He means well, but he treats me like I'm breakable." There was no self-pity in her tone, just quiet strength. "That must be frustrating," Ryan said. "You have no idea," she replied, chuckling. "He keeps introducing me to men who see my wheelchair before they see me. They act like being kind to me is a favor." Ryan frowned. "Anyone who can't see past that doesn't deserve your time. You're clearly so much more than what's in front of them." Anna tilted her head, studying him. That's the first time someone said that without sounding fake or overly nice. "It's just the truth," Ryan said simply. "I've known you 5 minutes, and I already know the wheelchair's the least interesting thing about you." That made her laugh, really laugh. They started talking easily after that, conversation flowing like they'd known each other longer than an evening. Anna was quick-witted, curious, and disarmingly genuine. When Ryan mentioned his repair shop, she didn't flinch or judge. Instead, she leaned forward, asking about the challenges of running a small business. "I admire that," she said. "You built something from the ground up." Ryan shrugged. "It's not much, but it's mine. I like fixing things. Cars make sense to me. They either work or they don't." Anna grinned. "I get that. I'm a software developer. Fixing code isn't much different. You dig until you find the problem." "You're a developer?" Ryan asked, impressed. "Yup. I work remotely. My dad calls it a hobby because I don't wear a suit or drive downtown every day. He doesn't realize I actually make a good living doing what I love." Ryan smiled. Then he's the one missing something important. Before Anna could respond, a tall man in an expensive suit approached. "Anna, darling," he said, kissing her cheek. "Sorry I'm late." His gaze shifted to Ryan, polite but questioning. "And you are—" "Dad, this is Ryan Torres," Anna said cheerfully. "He thought I was his blind date. We decided to make the most of it. The man, Robert Lawrence, studied Ryan. A blind date, HM? And what do you do, Mr. Torres? I own Torres Auto Repair, Ryan said evenly. Been running it for 6 years. How? Enterprising, Robert said, his tone cool. Then to Anna, our table's ready in the private room. Shall we? Actually, Dad, Anna said, I'd like Ryan to join us. His date seems to have stood him up, and I've enjoyed talking to him. Ryan tried to decline, but Anna wouldn't have it. You're not intruding, she said. You're invited. Robert's smile tightened. Of course, he said. In the private dining room, Robert's questions came fast, polite but probing, his tone that of a man evaluating, not conversing. Ryan stayed calm, meeting each question with quiet honesty. Anna kept shooting him looks of apology and rolling her eyes behind her father's back. When Robert stepped away to take a call, Anna leaned in. I'm so sorry. He's a lot. I don't mind, Ryan said softly. He loves you. He's just scared. I know, Anna said, but he's wrong about one thing. What's that? He thinks I need someone to take care of me. Ryan smiled. You don't. You need someone who walks beside you, not someone who looks down on you. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Anna's eyes glistened. That's exactly what I've been trying to tell him. When Robert returned, Ryan stayed, unfazed by the scrutiny. He asked Robert questions about his business, responded with genuine respect, but no submission. For the first time in a long while, Anna saw a man who treated her as an equal, and her father as just another person at the table, not a barrier to cross. When dinner ended and Robert went to get the car, Ryan turned to Anna. I'd like to see you again, he said quietly. Not because I feel sorry for you, but because I haven't enjoyed talking to someone like this in years. Anna smiled through the shimmer in her eyes. I'd like that too, but my father won't make it easy. I don't expect easy, Ryan said. I expect worthwhile. And you're definitely that. Over the next few months, Ryan and Anna grew inseparable. What began as a chance mistake at a restaurant turned into something steady, something real. Their worlds couldn't have been more different. Ryan's day started early at his small auto shop, hands stained with oil and sweat. Anna worked from her home office, coding with focus and creativity, her screen filled with lines of logic and color. But they met in the middle, over late-night phone calls, takeout dinners in her apartment, and long conversations about everything that mattered and nothing at all. Ryan learned quickly that Anna's wheelchair didn't define her. It was simply a part of how she moved through life. She was fiercely independent, often teasing him whenever he offered to help. If I need it, I'll ask, she'd say, smiling. And she did, not because she couldn't do something, but because she wanted him to share in it. Anna, in turn, discovered that Ryan didn't see her as fragile or as someone to be handled delicately. He saw her as capable, confident, and brilliant. The woman who challenged him, inspired him, and made him want to be better. But Robert Lawrence remained unconvinced. He saw Ryan's modest business, his callous hands, and his simple manners, and assumed he was a passing phase. More than once, he warned Anna gently that men like Ryan eventually realized love isn't enough to bridge such different worlds. Dad, Anna told him once, her voice firm, you're the one who taught me to value character. Ryan has more of it than most men in your boardroom. Robert only sighed. You're too idealistic. Sweetheart, you deserve someone who can take care of you properly. Anna's eyes hardened. I don't need to be taken care of. I need to be believed in. Ryan never confronted Robert directly, but he understood the older man's doubts. So instead of arguing, he simply showed up every day in every way that mattered. He treated Anna not as someone to protect, but as someone to share his world with. He invited her to his shop, taught her the basics of car engines, and laughed when she insisted on helping fix one herself. Then one night, a heavy storm hit the city. The next morning, Ryan arrived at his shop to find disaster. The entire back section flooded, equipment soaked, the office ruined. Insurance would take weeks, and he didn't have that kind of time. Anna didn't wait to be asked. She rolled into the shop that afternoon, laptop balanced on her knees, her expression determined. Let's get organized, she said. You handle the physical cleanup. I'll manage logistics. Within hours, she had set up a digital coordination system. tracking damage, parts, and volunteer shifts. She directed workers, made calls, and worked tirelessly beside Ryan. When Robert arrived later, worried for his daughter, he stopped short. The scene stunned him. Anna in her wheelchair, sleeves rolled up, calmly directing a team of mechanics and volunteers as she ran the place. "Dad," she called without looking up, "can you grab those papers on the counter? We're sorting expenses." Robert did as she asked, silently watching as his daughter took command with confidence and precision. It hit him then, the truth he had been too blind to see. She didn't need saving. She never had. Standing beside him, Ryan wiped sweat from his forehead and said quietly, "She's incredible, isn't she?" Robert nodded slowly. "She always was. I just forgot to see it." Ryan hesitated, then added, "I know you think I'm not good enough for her. You might even be right. She's brilliant, strong, and way out of my league. But I love her, Mr. Lawrence, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of her." For the first time, Robert looked at him not as an intruder, but as a man who meant what he said. After that day, something changed. Robert didn't become instantly approving, but the sharp edge of his disapproval softened. He began to invite Ryan to dinners, to ask him about the shop. Small gestures, but meaningful ones. A year after the night Ryan sat down at the wrong table, he decided to make it official. He didn't choose a restaurant or a fancy location. Instead, he decorated his auto shop, the same one Anna had helped save, with candles, fairy lights, and wildflowers. The scent of oil and roses mingled strangely, perfectly. When Anna rolled in, her eyes widened in disbelief. "Ryan, what is this?" He smiled, his heart pounding. The place where everything went wrong, and somehow turned out right. He knelt down, meeting her at eye level, and took her hand. "You taught me that the best things in life happen when plans fall apart. I sat at the wrong table and found the right person. I love you, not despite your wheelchair, but because you're you, wheels included. Will you marry me?" Anna's eyes filled with tears. "Yes," she whispered. 1,000 times yes. 6 months later, they were married in a small garden surrounded by family and friends. Ryan stood at the altar, watching as Robert Lawrence proudly wheeled his daughter down the aisle. The moment he placed Anna's hand in Ryan's, their eyes met, and this time, Robert's held no doubt, only gratitude. During his toast at the reception, Robert stood with a glass of champagne, voice steady but full of emotion. "I spent years believing my daughter needed protection," he said. "After her accident, I saw her chair and forgot to see her strength. Ryan reminded me that disability changes circumstance, not character. He taught me to see my daughter clearly again." He raised his glass toward the couple. "Thank you for loving her as she deserves to be loved, not as someone to take care of, but as someone to walk beside. You turned my fear into pride." There wasn't a dry eye in the room. That night, as the last guest left and the lights dimmed, Anna looked at Ryan and smiled softly. "Do you ever think about that night at the restaurant?" "All the time," he said, taking her hand. "I sat at the wrong table, but it was the best mistake of my life." She leaned closer. "Sometimes the wrong turn is exactly the right one." He kissed her gently. "Sometimes the wrong table is exactly where you were meant to be."